On July 25th, 2022, Gaylon Tootle was interviewed by the Save My Vote production team in Washington, D.C. He spoke about his journey into advocacy and his high hopes for the future. We present this video as a tribute to him and an inspiration to all those whose torches will continue to carry the light.
September 13th, 2022. Dear Miss Bell Tootle, please accept my deepest condolence for the loss of your beloved husband, Gaylon. I was sad to hear the news of his passing. Gaylon exemplified what it meant to be a dedicated leader and a passionate advocate for civil rights. His commitment to voting rights for Americans with disabilities and people of color will live on through the countless lives he impacted and uplifted. Gaylon will continue to be an inspiration to those of us who work toward equity and fight injustice in all its forms. I am so grateful to have had the chance to host Gaylon at the ADA reception at the Vice President's residence this past summer. May the joy and love that you shared carry you through this time. I will keep your family in my thoughts and prayers. Sincerely, Kamala Harris.
My name is Gaylon Tootle. I was born in Tootle County, Georgia, a little small town in southeast Georgia, right outside of Savannah, Hinesville, Georgia. I was the third oldest of 6 children. My younger brother, along with myself, we were both born with the congenital cataracts. Our parents were both blind, and they ran a very strong, very structured household. We were probably considered one of the hippest families in the neighborhood because we always had food, and my mother and father, they would feed the kids in the neighborhood. We never had a meatless meal, none of the things that you would hear the kids talk about in the neighborhood. My dad did all of that stuff to help provide for his family. I watched my father, who was a very strong advocate. He was the guy in the neighborhood that if someone wanted a government housing home over in what we call the projects, they would call my father and ask my father, would he recommend to Miss Kicklighter whether or not they could get a house? And if he did it, they got the house. So he had that type of power. He led the community as it came to advocacy. And when I think about how Daddy and King them done it back then, sometimes it's inspiring. And I even get inspired today. I've been a black Muslim. I've been, a 5%er. I've been all of those things. But I finally found this. And what I really wanted to say about saying this is we have to stay motivated. Rev Up Georgia is an affiliate of the American Association with People with Disabilities. We are a group of volunteers. We're made up of self-advocates, disability rights organizations, allies, like-minded thinking folk, and anybody who wants to see positive change. We feel that we're a great cross-section of society because we have, all of the disabilities under one roof, and we get together and we advocate for the changes that we want to see. I do also want to give a shout out to my brother Tootle, Stancil Tootle, who does the Tuesdays with Tootle, which is a very important arm of Rev Up. He brought me in, and I've been working in it ever since. We, as a disabled community, we understand that while voting rights is at the top of our things that we have to take care of, we also understand that we need to live well in our communities. Everything in my orbit is a drill down on advocacy for my community. And my early life prepared me for this. I've been in it for a long time. And I was talking to some people earlier, and we were talking about, movements and how movements work. First of all, we have to understand that there are a couple of things about a movement. Well, a movement and a moment. And, we get out here and we do these things. We're fighting for voter rights, and we show up at one event. That's a moment. Now, a movement is when we show up for 90% of the events, where we have to sacrifice. A movement requires sacrifice. And that's what we do here in Rev Up Georgia. We are on a mission to educate our people on the pitfalls of the various voter legislations that's coming out there and educating them on the issues. I majored in English and political science, so that has given me the ability to articulate, given me the ability to frustrate, and sometimes, even agitate, because all of those things are part of advocacy for me. I'm not going to allow the Southern genteel mentality that they have down there to disenfranchise our population. I get to bring a contingent with me because we are in my community where I live. We are that community. We believe in being out there at whatever events that are going on. We're politically engaged. We're socially engaged. We promote independent living, accessible, secure, independent living. And this platform that I now have, it has allowed me to even delve some into community actions, politics, I guess you would want to call it, because I do get that question in my local community. But I like the advocacy side of things, because with advocacy, what we have to understand, and a lot of people don't, is that in politics, there are never any permanent enemies or permanent friends, right? It's only permanent interests, right? So if we get that understanding out there, then we can do a lot more. But I believe this platform has allowed me to do that, because in this platform, I may be talking to a Republican candidate today or a Democratic candidate tomorrow, again, drilling down on the interests, what's important, what makes my community move, what impacts our community. So my platform obviously has allowed me to reach out into spaces where I never thought I'd be. The harder I reach, the further I can go, the more I can impact, the more changes I can make. So, this platform has given me everything as it relates to what makes me move. We got to win. I can't accept nothing shorter than that. But I also believe in the work that we're doing. I believe that we're going to get that. I believe that we're going to get the people there that we need, so that our community can continue to flourish and grow and make America this great place it's supposed to be. It's going to happen. Now, I don't know the collateral damage that we'll suffer to get there, but it's going to happen. And the surest way to make sure that we don't go through all that is that everybody vote. And that is what we got to do in this year's election. The movement for me has made all the difference in the world, because now I don't ever see myself not working. I'm not going to pass nobody my torch, but I'll light yours for you, so that when it's over for me, I'll just fade on out and you'll be there to take over, because that is how Rev Up Georgia is going to be successful. Hallelujah, well, hallelujah. Well, don't you know that the storm is passing over? Well, hallelujah. If you miss me down here, don't worry about me, 'cause I'll be up there. Well, don't you know that the storm is passing over? Well, hallelujah. Yes,